So for this moderator application that I provided, the questions are going to be about similar to the ones that I have answered. So as you can see over here, this will be 3 sections divided. I'm not sure why I have this one there. I don't know if I could really fix that or not, but just the beginning portion. So again, knowing the 3 of them being the Discord section, how you know much using about Discord, learning about it, what type of servers that you're in, what rules they provide as, different Discord servers go along to. And so there's a couple of a few changes that I had to make for this map staff application. The questions are going to be about roughly the same thing, except I made one change and 2 new questions that were added when me and Dice were discussing about what to plan and what to change and all that sort. So, just general basic questions that you know about Discord in general. So how often are you active in the Discord channels provided here? If you are, liking to do so, if you often log into Discord, if you, type in Discord in general, or you use their voice chats in general, stuff like that. Just minor, simple ones that I will have to ask you. Oh, why did I just do that? Okay. I don't know what just happened. You also will have a bit important ones I will explain is the time zones. The time zones here, I don't know if I have in the right format. It just says UTC, but you could just ignore that. But the numbers should represent on the time zone that you're currently living in. So for example, if I was, let's say for example, if I was in EST, you would pick the -5 option that's in the EST route or something like that. It depends on the very important part. So remember, a lot of you guys may understand and realize this, that, moderators at times can have real life priorities. That is a thing. And, not everyone, and, that also becomes a hard thing too to realize is that, if, for example, if you're away, like, far of a region, let's say in the European region or something like that, that becomes a lot harder to, like, manage and all that sort, because, whenever I have to make a video or, not just the videos itself, but whenever I go live streaming, that is, like, kind of the major important part you have to think about. And the 2 important ones that I will ask are going to be the age of yourself. So meaning that if you are below 13, and this is the major important part, because remember, Discord is only allowed for users that are above the age of 13 years old and older. So if you are below that requirement, then I will have no choice but to deny this application. Even if it doesn't matter if the application's good or not, again, and if you put the age under here, then I will not be able to accept you and all that sort. I will not accept your application regardless. It will just be automatically denied and sort. And the new one that I had to change here was the handle of your Discord name. Remember, this is not your username. This is the @handle at your name. You'll be able to see the @handle of your Discord name. Now, the above one, that is your nickname. The username I'm looking for is this at the bottom here. So you won't see that handle. It's just right over below it. And then, yeah. Because originally, for those of you who don't know, if those were in the old server before a few years ago, it was changed now. They no longer include that hashtag symbol. Yeah, they don't no longer include that anymore. So now you'll just have to put your @handle. And most importantly for a mic, if it's up to you, I'm not going to force you to recommend to have a mic on the interview. I know it would be a little harder for us to make sure you guys are hearing us and everything of sort. But again, recommendation, but if you can't, that's fine. I'm not going to force anybody to require everyone to have a mic and all that sort. All right. So second section here is going to be the rules and penalties, and it will explain about the different scenarios. Now, this one, there is a new question that's been added. Question 11, I'll get to it, but not going to read out every question here, but just to give an idea of what scenario we'll have to do. The rules and penalties, major important one to remember here. Keep in mind, not every rule and penalty that I list here. I know some of you guys have different rules. I know some of you guys have different penalties that you've seen in different Discord servers and such. But just to kind of give an explanation, because I know some of you guys will vary depending on the user. For example, a major one which is a very, common one that you see a lot in Discord servers and especially in online social medias in general, there is spamming. So, for example, if someone was to spam, you would have to give the following response to what you can do and what actions, what timeouts, whatever that sort you guys will give in. If you go to my rules and penalties on the Discord server, just going to showcase it to anyone out there. I'm not going to just share it on the stream, but that's fine. I'll just mask it overlay. So you'll see all the penalties that I provided here. That's what's provided from here. Not going to read out every single one. For example, for the spamming one that I'll kind of help in one of the questions. So, for example, the first one we usually do is that most importantly, we delete the message. Second time if a person ignores us or anything in that, we either warn, kick the user, or sometimes in limitations, we either risk ourselves to even ban the person. That depends a lot depending on the context of the message that's being sent. Most importantly, that is for that, and most importantly, the ban if it's provided. So again, second time, only provide for that if it's provided. If it's not necessary for a ban, that is, then a ban is needed, most importantly. So that will be the first major one. And the new question I want to go over, and again, a lot of you guys will have various different answers on our server, so you could kind of use ours as like a little cheat sheet if you want to. Again, everyone's, penalties and servers and all that sort is going to be different, so it's not going to be expected. And for the new one that I added right over here, which is if a user breaks a rule of the server, but if a moderator comes in and abuses their power instead of a warning, what would you do? So we added that as a new scenario. So, for example, if it could be any rule in general, does not matter what it has to be. So it's a matter of what you would do in a situation. If you were not just a regular simple user, if it's like your first time joining in, if you join in, regardless of how long you join in the server or not, if you're very inactive or sort, then you will be able to list here. I don't need like a very long and lengthy answers for each of these. Again, I don't need like a paragraph or like any of those essays. I don't need any of that sort. I just need a good enough statement, like a sentence or two, and you should definitely be fine. I think you should definitely be fine where it is. Oh yeah, Dice, did you have any feedback you want to give in that, or is everything okay?
I just want to say that what Gail said is true. You don't need to do a paragraph, but I highly recommend you doing a paragraph. I don't know about girls, but if you do more too sensitive, it shows me and girls that you are serious about being a moderator.
Yeah, what you're determined and everything and all that sort. All right, and for the last major section, this is a very important one that I will explain here. This is about every question I will read out is very important, and that is the staff section. This is to explain about, if you were from a moderator, not just from Discord, it could be from a game server that you have joined in from some or whatever, it could be from like Gmod or whatever that sort, that's going to determine your fate as to whatever or not you are going to be accepted as a moderator. As for a moderator, you can't just simply say out here in this thing, it's like, oh, I want to be a moderator here, I want to help out the server. That does not mean overall you're just going to say something like that. Again, you have to be more reasonable than just saying that, and otherwise you are not going to be much determined to be here, because as a moderator, you're representing here not only to become, to join in the server and to help out, you're here to provide in order to take risk. You're knowing what is going on, and you need to be more self-aware of what's going on and what's going to happen in the server and all that. So one of the first ones we provided is new question over here is to give a lengthy paragraph. Let's get to detailed paragraph how you would deal with the scenario. One of them we made the scenarios is similar to this here, except if someone is, for example, if someone was promoting, let's say, if it could just be anything in general. Someone was posting a link to their Discord server, if it's just, not just like simply promoting a Discord server. It could be about anything, if you want to just help them out and all that sort. And if you realize that there is something going on, if you think that there is a thing about, what to do and all that sort, then you would have to give a lengthy response of how would you respond to the situation. Is the person trying to take advantage of the others, and what would you do in this situation if you feel like it? It could just be, not just one, but it could be multiple people try to take advantage of it. So again, look out into that. And like I explained before, a little bit before, is to explain yourself when a moderator. Again, like I mentioned, can't just say I want to be a moderator to help out the server. We need you to be more reasonable than that, because otherwise, if you don't be more reasonable than that, chances are you're going to have not a good chance of you being accepted. So again, it's a very, very big responsibility. And again, this one over here is going to differ depending on the user, but for a moderator, being responsibility for for example, not only just being responsible, but the kind of actions that they do have. For example, like being a moderator, not only is the responsibility, but again, you also get different options. We do just like before, so you're not only can have basic stuff. Actions being, for example, you're here to just like being a moderator, you can edit or delete messages, and you have to just do this as actions to take, uh, take out people who are breaking the rules, for example. I know it's a little weird word, I had to say it, but whatever it can be, from a ban or a kick, or anyone who violates the rules of the server, any of those regards. It's this is very crucial to be very important in many Discord servers. Every Discord server, does not matter if it has to be from a gaming server or whatever it has to be. Again, everyone should have at least a moderation or some admin or something in the other between, of whatever you guys want to, you put your names. Sometimes some people don't really put moderator and admin. They could just put a different name of that, name of the role, whatever it can be. And yeah, and so I list the server's amount of actions here. You could use that as a cheat sheet if you want, but again, everyone answer is going to differ here. And also, the very important to making sure what makes you want to stand out with the other mods, and if there's any ideas you want to bring to the staff team. Again, it's very important. You can't just say yourself that I want to be better than all the other mods. You can't just say stupid crap like that or anything. But if any ideas that you want to bring, again, let me know of any ideas you want to bring to the server. Again, ideas are also very good to help out with servers and such like that. And they will able to provide what you can do and what we can do to make the server better or not. So again, that's really important for you to put this, be reasonable with your responses, and same with all the other questions. And last, most importantly, is the past servers or anything in general. It does not have to be, if you are a first timer and if you had past servers, it could just be, not just from Discord. I could sometimes make it from a little bit like game servers, for example, I mentioned. If you are from any of those Discord servers or any of the game servers, unrelated to it, but if you have some experience to it, that's fine. If there, how many members of the server if possible. And again, if you don't have one, that's fine. Doesn't have to be required. This one actually, by the way, all the questions are required for each of them, just to let you know that. But again, if you don't have a server in mind that you think of, it's okay. Everyone has a first-time experience of what they want to do and help out and all that sort. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, as well as turning on the notification bell for more videos. If you are also interested to check out my channel memberships, right next to the subscribe button on my YouTube channel for perks such as early access to new videos, emotes that you guys can use on my videos, as well as my live streams, and getting Discord roles if you have not joined my Discord server down below in the description, as well as access to my other social media platforms. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to always rise for glory.